Hello, welcome back to another video. Today is late night, October 27th, 2020, and today we're going to be going over my 2020 presidential United States Electoral College prediction. Just so you know how I make my ratings for each state. This means solid or safe blue, which means 15% or more on election day. This means likely blue, 7% or more on election day. This means lean blue, 2% or more on election day. This is tilt blue, under 2% on election day. For whichever party, the safe red, likely red, lean red, tilt red. So, now that you know my ratings, let's get started with the video. Now, every state I think will go safe for Biden is Washington, Oregon, California, New York, Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, DC, Illinois, Hawaii, Maine's 1st District, and that is, see, might not seem like a lot, but now he only needs less than 100 electoral votes out of the 355 left. And I'm going to rate these now. Colorado, New Mexico, and Virginia. It's too late. It's in New Hampshire and Maine. These are all Clinton states, and the fact that Biden is improving, especially among white voters and Latinos in all of these states, maybe not Latinos in Nevada and Florida, but the fact that he's improving support in these states among a state that Trump already lost, and he's favorable in the Democratic Party, it's way too late for him to win Maine or Colorado or New Mexico or Virginia. And now I'm even going to say Minnesota. Minnesota is a highly white area. Biden's only trailing by 8 in the last poll I saw. Not that that means everything. He's not. But in the last racial poll I saw, like nationally. Now I know that doesn't mean everything with Minnesota, but I'm pretty sure he's leading with whites in Minnesota. And this is another state that already went to Hillary in 2016. Again, not that that means anything, but purely based on demographic trends, horrible approval, historic trends. Even in a Trump 2016 landslide, a modern day landslide, Trump didn't even carry the state. It was still a tilt margin, but some people would still be a lean margin. It's not going to be a Republican state this time around. It's a waste of time for Trump to try. He should be trying in states like the states he won, like Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, especially Pennsylvania. If he can win Pennsylvania, we'll get into it. No, but first we gotta rate the safe Republican states, which again mean 15% or more, for North Dakota, South Dakota, Idaho, Wyoming, Nebraska's 3rd District, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Tennessee, Alabama, Kentucky, West Virginia, and that's it for Trump. He has 68 safe electoral votes. Biden basically has 226. Now, Minnesota, Colorado, New Mexico, Virginia, New Hampshire, and Maine are, so basically he's 183. He has like 3 times as many safe votes as Trump does. Now, just because these states technically aren't safe, like Montana and Utah, they are a little bit closer than they were in 2016, but that's because of everything Trump has done, especially in the past past half year. He's been disapproved in Montana, a state that went to him by 21 points. Montana, there was an A+ rated poll today where he's within a margin of error to lose Montana. If Montana went blue, so is Kansas, so is Missouri, so is Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Iowa, maybe Indiana, Pennsylvania. Everything would go, basically, if Montana went blue. But it won't. It's still probably going to go to Trump by around 8 to 12 points, as well as Kansas and Missouri with their races. And South Carolina and Alaska all have Senate or governor races, all reflecting upon the presidential race. People are more optimistic about their vote. and especially in trending states like Kansas, South Carolina, and Alaska. These are states, or actually South Carolina and Alaska, both only went to Trump by 14 points. Now that's under a safe margin, and it may still seem like a lot, but still it's under that margin. If you wanted to be all technical and say, well, that's basically safe anyway, then I can classify Maine as safe because it's leading for Biden by 14 and a half points. Past like 5 polls in Colorado, Biden's up like 22 points. I could have Colorado as safe. I'm not being biased. I'm just giving the facts. Sorry, I'm getting more into this. Nebraska at large in Nebraska's first district used to be safe, used to be really safe. They both went to Biden by around 26, Trump by 26 points, 2016. At least Nebraska at large did, mainly because of Nebraska's third district, which makes up most of the state. But it's it's in a lean margin to go to Trump, and this one's within a tilt margin to go to Trump. Nebraska's first district. I'm not doing that. I'm not dumb. I know that the polls are probably inflated, and that's why I'm trying to account for a lot of this. But you also need to keep in mind the consistency of these polls, even Republican polls showing Biden winning. So, which brings us to Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, states that I think will go to Biden by a lean margin, pushing him over the 270 line, making him the next president of the United States, the 46th president, with First Lady Joe Biden. Wisconsin and Michigan will probably go blue anyway, but Trump has managed to make Pennsylvania more competitive than it was. These were all likely states, and he's managed to do what what he did in 2016 to make him more competitive. But the question is it enough? Especially with him losing white voter support, huge chunks of them, especially in toss-up states where they're undecided in the most part. So the Rust Belt, Biden wins. He's leading in Iowa right now. He was leading in Ohio. He's leading in like every state left except for we didn't account for Mississippi. I just have likely as because of highly increased voter turnout. I think will happen or a ton of voter suppression. Either way, I still think it'll go likely around 15 points anyway. Um. Oh, and Indiana does not like Pence, and they don't like Trump anyway. They just do not have a favorability of any of the Republican candidates right now, and they've also voted for Obama and Biden in 2008. So think of it as Indiana already voted for Biden, technically, but that was in 2008. That was 12 years. A lot has changed. It was against John McCain. He had a lot of stuff going against him, and he ended up losing by I modern day landslide. I mean, it's kind of hard saying a landslide, but like I mainly say Trump landslide in 2016 because I believe they had the House and took the House. They also had the Senate or took the Senate. I don't remember if they already had it or not. They definitely already had the governors and probably gained a governor too. 2016 was a red wave year, but after 2018, before everything that even happened this year, Democrats were already on track to win the presidency. They were on track to make these states, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, tilt states, and everything else except for Nevada be red. They were on track to get 278 electoral votes. Now, I don't know if I still have a public video for that, but you might want to go look. But no, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania are all lean blue states. Nevada, despite Biden losing in Latino voters in here, he is making up a lot for it in white voters. Arizona moving from lean to tilt as the race is getting a little bit closer, but I do not think it's enough for Trump to hold on to Arizona. I think it's long gone. If it voted for Kristen Sinema back in 2018, it's not voting for Trump in 2016. That's just straight facts. There's no way he hasn't lost 3.5% of his support in Arizona, especially a state that the biggest thing the biggest reason why Trump isn't doing what he did 4 years ago in making the polls a lot closer and ended up taking these states is because he's unfavored and Biden isn't. Biden is favored by a pretty hefty amount after the DNC. Now, Trump is still winning in states like Texas, which I think will go to him by like 3 points. He's leading in Ohio, which I think will go to him by like 2 or 3 points as well. He's losing in Iowa, which I think will go to him by a tilt margin. And believe it or not, I do believe every other blank state will go to Biden. Now, I'm going to get into this in a second, but first we got to characterize Maine's 2nd district as a tilt margin for Biden, as it is leaning and likely for him right now. It's a huge white area turnout, and I think Trump is going to be reminding. Trump needs to do a rally here. This one electoral vote could change the whole election. Say if I don't know, uh, Trump took. Yeah, this is a really good example. If Trump took North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Pennsylvania, which you could very well do now, as they're all tilt or borderline tilt margins. If he took Minnesota's first and Nebraska's first, which he can't, Nebraska's second, I'm in, and Maine's second, which he did campaign in Nebraska's second today, he could make it a tie and use the Supreme Court to win, or the House would vote against him, which would then lead him to go to the Supreme Court, because Amy Coney Barrett has now been confirmed, which is a huge win for the Republican Party. All right, but we got to do these last 3 states, and then I'll be done lecturing you. North Carolina and Florida, not a surprising characterization, as Biden's been leading here since April, or in some cases before. Florida is one of Trump's home states. I've been back and forth on North Carolina and Florida, but every time I make a video, I get that gut feeling that it will definitely go to Biden. Now, North Carolina, over half the state has already voted, and Biden's leading by like 30% among mail-in voters, and really, you could see him winning by a few points. But overall, I think he'll win by a very, very thin margin. And if Trump just does like 1 or 2 more rallies here, he could very well take the state. It won't be that hard to do. Florida and North Carolina and Pennsylvania are his tipping points right now, and he does need to make sure to campaign one more time in Georgia, as I do think, I mean, it's leading for Biden by like 5 points in the past like 5 polls, but Biden's only leading by 2 points here. He's leading by he's leading by a lean margin. Same with all these states, but I still think they're all going to go by a small margin. Georgia is also, that's my prediction, by the way, 351 to 187. Georgia is also on track to go blue in both of the Senate races. Let's look right now. Maine's Senate race is supposed to go lean blue. New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Delaware, Oregon, Illinois are all supposed to go safe to the Democrats, as Virginia, Colorado, New Mexico, and Minnesota are supposed to go likely. Georgia's regular election with Ossoff is supposed to go likely now, or lean. I have both as I have one as lean, one as tilt now, and that already puts him at 2 more seats gained. But I'd even factor in states where where the Democrats are still up by lean margins in North Carolina, Michigan. They're making and in Arizona, which is getting a little bit tighter, but not enough. Definitely not enough. And I also think the Democrats will take Iowa by a tilt margin. Iowa's the closest. And today, they're winning in Montana. And I believe there was one poll, and I could definitely be incorrect here. There was a poll showing Alaska safe, but I'm not going to go over one of those rants showing what we could do. Right now, Democrats are on track to win South Carolina over the past few polls. They're on Based on the last poll in Montana, they're on track to win. Based on the average of every other state, except for Idaho, Wyoming, South Dakota, Nebraska, and Alaska we have here, the Democrats are on track to win the Senate right now by 55. Now, I don't think they will. I think Montana, South Carolina will both be tilt-red states, while Kansas will be lean, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, uh, uh, Alabama, Kentucky. Kentucky will be likely, but that's because Mitch McConnell's highly unfavored. Mississippi, with its increased turnout and unfavoredness of Cindy Hyde Smith, and Texas going likely. Still, this is an exact flip from where we are now. There's 53 Republicans right now and 47 Democrats. It's supposed to flip flop. Iowa should never have even been in the blue column in the first place. Trump won the state by 9 points, and I believe in 2016 it voted for a red senator. Maybe it could have voted for blue in 2018. I'm not exactly sure. However, Georgia should never have been competitive in the first place. Texas should have been safe at this point with the high outperforming numbers. Uh, Arizona should have been tilt. Colorado and New Mexico should have been lean, or not Colorado, New Mexico, but you get where I'm coming from. Minnesota should have been lean. New Hampshire should have been lean or likely. It's safe. Uh, Susan Collins was winning in Maine for a little bit. Even with me taking out Georgia, uh, Georgia's 2 elections, and Iowa, which I'm confident will all go blue. Even with me taking that out, it's a tie, and Vice President Harris, which is becoming more and more probable as time goes on, will break the tie in any favor. And even if Trump loses, the Democrats are going to take the Senate, in my opinion. I really do think that the Democrats are going to take the Senate. And if the Democrats take the Senate, because they're on track to get 55 seats right now, I just don't see a, a way that Donald Trump won't get impeached again by the House, which we're supposed to gain seats on, and then immediately get removed by Senate voting. I mean, you can't really expect the Democrats to vote for Trump staying in office. He's done a lot of shady shit. So has Biden, though. I'm not taking sides. I'm just saying, uh, this is this is a this could be a map right now. However, it won't be the map. It's gonna be probably that. I'm not gonna get into it anymore. If you want to, and you know what, I'll just do the governor right now since I'm already into it. Actually, um, yeah, red, 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 red. Actually, I think Montana will have a blue governor, Washington blue, North Carolina blue, Delaware blue. I think it's be 24, 26. I'm not going to get into it. You might be confused about Vermont. Vermont likes Republican governors. That's all I'm going to say. But also, let me just get into this real quick, too. Let's just, you can just leave at this point because I'm just going to get into something stupid right now. It's just going over Trump's strategy. But if Trump does take the 126, why is it 120? Oh, because I have that instead of that, and then that. Trump's definitely going to take all these 125 electoral votes. However, he in order to win, he needs Idaho. Oh no, he needs Iowa, Ohio, Georgia, and Texas, and he still needs Florida and North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Arizona. He can only afford to lose Wisconsin and Michigan. He can't afford to lose anything else. If he loses anything else, it's over, and he's definitely on track to lose. That's why he's trying to bring up fracking in uh Pennsylvania. He's really trying. That's his biggest base on trying to swing over Pennsylvania voters, because Trump definitely will not ban fracking. Biden's been flip-floppy on it. But if Biden takes Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, it's over. If Trump takes Pennsylvania, but he has to focus on Pennsylvania instead of Arizona, it's over because the Democrats will have 271. If he focuses on Arizona and Pennsylvania, North Carolina could go under his nose. He has so many things to do in so little time, and I don't think there's enough time for him to do it. I think Donald Trump will lose re-election. On my unbiased opinion, Donald Trump will lose. I'm sorry for those who want a red wave. I just don't see any realistic situation where this could happen. Honestly, if he could take Minnesota, then maybe. But he's not going to take Minnesota. It's leading to Biden by 9 points, and there's no way a margin of error is going to be that incorrect. But thank you guys so much for watching and listening.